Innovating Education Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.
A recent report by Rand Corporation found that educating people in prison can cut reoffending by around 43%. We explore now how education in jail can make a difference. Police presence at a football match doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. But how about when the players are all convicted criminals? In Mexico, corruption and a lack of resources means the penitentiary system is seeing a rise in violence. Could sports improve the situation?
A Sunday morning football match in Mexico, but this is no ordinary ball game. It is, in fact, an historic moment in the country's penal system. For the first time, a team of young offenders has been allowed to play outside prison walls. Among the teenage players, convicted murderers and kidnappers. The Panteras, as they're called, are playing in the final game of the Mexico City League. When the prison staff and inmates first trained together, they are mutually wary. Now there's only trust and a real team spirit.
The discipline that American football stresses as a sport and as a therapy has been extremely useful because they've changed. They're not aggressive anymore, they don't fight, they tolerate and respect each other.
These teenagers also get a second chance at school, another new development in Mexican prisons. Violence is a way of life in Mexico City, with one young person murdered every day. Under a new approach, the prisoners are shown another path. Previously, 70% of young convicts hadn't completed secondary education. Now, on the inside, they can finish their studies. Some 80% go on to pass their high school exams.
These centres were characterised by violence. Many guys could only hope to escape. Now they're focused on the opportunities available to them and on developing activities.
Behind much of this success is the Free Thought Foundation and its director Alejandro Furlong. Through voluntary work, he found that many detainees wanted to continue their studies. Teachers and other professionals offered their services to the centre, and soon the inmates were reaping the benefits.
What we try to do is advance their schooling. We help, advise, show them who we are, so they can also see an example to follow.
Sam is a convicted murderer. He's also a team player and an enthusiastic student.
Can you type well? No problem.
It's been very useful. I arrived here with no secondary level exams, and now I'm in high school in Furlong's classes. I'm studying to finish high school.
Could giving prisoners a chance to break free of strict prison rules be a way of rehabilitating them? Another way is giving them a chance to complete their education and prepare for life after jail. We look at how a project in Greece is making a difference.
The gloomy interior of Korydallos prison in Athens, Greece's largest and most overcrowded jail. From among 2,500 inmates, around 70 get another shot at education through the Second Chance School programme. That's been running since 2005.
The conditions are not the best, not exactly charming. But when they come to school, they're intrigued, and the message they receive from the school is no more jail.
Students who didn't finish their compulsory 9-year education can complete it here. They take 25 hours of classes per week. After 2 years, they get a certificate equivalent to junior high school level. Every day in school counts as 2 days off their sentence. The impact of the Second Chance School is impressive. The rate of reoffending among its students is just 7%. Among the general prison population, it's between 40 to 50%. Convicted fraudster Dimitris seized the opportunity.
The lessons help us to escape the monotony of prison life. We feel like we're going to school outside.
The subjects include Greek and English language, maths, science and computer skills, among others. But since the economic crisis, the number of teachers has been reduced. Spartacus is open about his life and the mistakes he's made. He's serving a sentence for a drugs crime. He dreams of using the prison classes to build a new life with his young family.
You are what you've done. That's how they see you. They think you can't change. They say, why are you going to school? You're a criminal. They don't believe someone can change.
The school programme has won awards, including one from UNESCO. Convicted bank robber Dimitris is a keen scholar. He wants to continue his studies and enter politics.
For uneducated people, it's easy to fall into crime. Because when you're uneducated, you see things differently. You don't see both sides and you take the wrong path.
Lessons are over for another day, but it will be some time before we know how much they've paid off.
What is it like being a teacher inside a prison? Aude Simeon has spent 15 years teaching behind bars and even wrote a book about it called Teacher in Jail. We talked to her to find out why she thinks education is so important on the inside.
This is a well-travelled route for Aude Simeon. It takes her to the Poissy prison near Paris, where, twice a week for 15 years, she's been teaching literature to inmates. Her students all serving long sentences within these walls. Aude is among the few outsiders allowed into this cloistered world. A few that doesn't include our crew. She's written about her experiences in a book, Teacher in Jail, the story of an educator who passionately believes learning can give prisoners a new taste for life in society.
It's really long. I've counted them. There's around 20 gates to pass through before I get to my class. And after all that, there's either a supervisor in flesh and bones, which is okay because there's at least human contact, or a camera, which is a lot less humane, and is the norm in prisons these days. And finally, I reach my class, where the students are usually waiting for me. From the outset, we have the impression that they're not capable or don't know how to adapt or live within the rules, and that they kind of rebel against those narrow confines we would make them enter. So here we're trying to give a new image of school, that it needn't be a trap, that it's a chance.
Can education change the lives of inmates? We asked one, Gerard, whose identity we've concealed. After 20 years inside for armed robbery, he's now on parole. It took a prison term and lessons behind bars to make him finally feel part of society.
You're seen in a more positive light, really. That's the thing. They don't treat you like crap. They say, we're going to give you a course. They take an interest, and that's rewarding.
Giving them a voice, a chance to express themselves in a new way. Aude Simeon believes the prisoners benefit even if academic success in jail is rare. But sometimes there is good news. Last year, one of our ex-students got a job in a media library. Proof that you can build a new future behind bars.
We see them only as students learning about the Persian letters or the Seed. They take exams like other students, and if they drop out, they have a review that has nothing to do with the prison. It's an external course. So I think it's really important that within this closed universe, there's a window onto the world outside.
But Aude faces an uphill struggle to convince the doubters, especially the prisoners themselves. In France, only 20% of inmates volunteer for education programmes.
That's it for now. Do share your ideas about prison education on our social media pages. We will be back next week. Goodbye.
Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.